All right, guys. Good morning, everybody. I hope everybody had an amazing day. I finally had a really good trading day after some time. So I traded Meta, earning Meta, and we had a very nice strategy on the Meta that I actually want to talk about. This is one of my favorite day trading strategies. It doesn't happen very often, but when it happens, it's very powerful. And I did have a swing trade on TNA, which I'm going to talk about it, what I did. And we're going to walk you through this recap. So first of all, let's start from Meta. Looking at the Meta daily chart is at all-time high. So if I go to weekly chart, as you see here, Meta back in 2022 went below 100 and now it's trading at $700. So it's an all-time high. And it had the earning yesterday. So if you go back during the day, so you can actually see as soon as the earning came out, you had some massive volatility here. Again, looking at, I think they released it at around 1640. So there was a massive volatility, came back up, tested all the way up to $715 per share, and kind of ended the day at around around $700. So today in the pre-market, again, as you see it, pre-market starts from 4 a.m. in New York City, traded, and obviously was something that I want to definitely look into that for the day. So we looked at it and see the price action if it gives us any good strategy of day trading or not. So in the pre-market at around 9:30, we had this level of $698, but it really was very extended for me to actually take the trade to the long side for opening edge breakout. It did sell off a little bit, came below the VWAP. I didn't trade this to the short because I just didn't like the stock in that time was gapping up around 4% with strong earning at all-time high. I just didn't want to short it. I watched it at 9:35 and then suddenly at 9:36, and this is very important. At 9:36, a very strong candlestick, bullish candlestick came in that the volume was almost double of the volume of the previous candlestick. And then the next one also turned out to be super bullish. And then that's the realize that actually I jumped in long in there for the break of pre-market high and high of the day. So as you see, this level of 698 is both pre-market high and the high of the day. So for that, as soon as we broke out, I added more at 698. My average is now somewhere around 696, and I started partialing very nicely toward $700. It did pull back, came back up on the way up. I started adding more on that all the way up to 710. It went up all the way up to 710.79. What happened after that? And I eventually got out completely out of it at 703, came back up, broke the 710, and then after, if you watch it, it's completely lost it, sold off all the way up to the previous day close. This is just unbelievable. All the way up to the previous day close. This is the previous day close line, 676.49. So you can see here, and then bounce back significantly again. This is just unbelievable. One of the biggest companies in the world trades like that. But then one question came in, and I like to actually talk about the question, and I think it's very important to answer that. Is that Andrew? I'm new to the game, and I want to know: do you always trade the strategies explained in your book, or there is gut feeling in that? And shed some light. So the answer to that is the strategies that I explain in my book are, some of the fundamentals like Wikipedia explanation of the strategy. How you can actually trade them really goes into multiple decision making at the same time. For example, for Meta, it turned out to be a 5-minute opening range breakout, which I did explain in my book. So this is a 5-minute candlestick. It popped up, and you take a 5-minute opening range breakout. So this is something that we have research papers on that. We have books on that. We have a lot of educational material. But how actually you execute that is a question of mastery, and it comes with experience. So the gut feeling that you're talking about is mostly the experience, that recognizing the pattern and executing the pattern. So for me, one of the most important pattern that I love is something called engulfing. This is a bullish engulfing crack. So that's essentially short sellers are selling, and then suddenly the bulls are coming, and not only this candlestick opens lower, but it's strong enough to comes and goes above the previous candlestick. So it's a very bullish pattern. That's why I jumped in there, which turned out to be also a 5-minute opening range breakup, and then you see this such a beautiful trade on that. For me, the decision making on that has to be real time, because this candlestick is forming as you're watching it. So it might not really end up to a very bullish candlestick. It might come down. So you are essentially looking at something that is live, and I have to make a decision based on that. So what you see, your multiple things that you're watching. The number one is obviously the 5-minute candlestick, which is giving you the strategical viewpoints, the strategy that you want to make a decision on that. I always look at the 5-minute. And then you have the 1-minute candlestick, that is your tactical time frame, that okay, I'm trying to time my entry here, put a stop loss here, then I add for the break of pre-market, and then my average becomes here, and now my stop loss is around here. So that's the amount of risk that I'm actually taking. This is a new average. And obviously you always look at the time of the day and the amount of gap that the strategy has. So this is also another thing that you have to at the same time looking into that to make a decision. And obviously daily chart is something that you want to look potentially remove all the lines, that where are you compared to the daily chart. Are you at the 52-week high, 52-week low, all-time high, all-time low, or you are stuck within the range? Like for example, I don't want to trade Meta within this range. When the stock is trading around in this range, I don't like that. Even here, I prefer not to trade it, because it seems that it's really getting, but as soon as the breakout or breakdown happens, are the areas that you really want to trade. And as you see, the size of the candlesticks are actually much better. So there are multiple decision making factors that has to go through your mind. 1 minute, 5-minute, daily chart, time and sales, level 2, if there is any signal for the breakout. So this is the topic of my next book that you're talking about. So you have this level 2 big signals that is coming. Is there a level 2? Is the book bullish that you want to go in that or not? And you don't see it in this recap, but I also take a look at the S&P 500 at the same time, what the market is doing on S&P 500. These moves are supported by the move from the market or not? So in this particular case, it does, because S&P 500 is impacted by Meta, but Meta overall is stocks in place. So I really don't care that much about S&P 500 when I'm trading Meta on the earning for such a interesting day. So as you see, these are the all decision making factors. And again, what you read in my book and all other books are some like Wikipedia explanation of how an engine works. But how to drive that engine is you actually have to come put all these elements into practice, months of practice, and then simulation, and then fund that account, and then see if you can make any money in the funded account, and then go through the live account. So what you see I'm doing is like 10 years of every single day trading. Is a lot of losses, a lot of gains, a lot of tradings that you can see that. So for you as a new trader, it's very important to actually go through the simulator, build a trade book, and make sure that you're ready before you put your real money there. Tesla had earning. Tesla also had a very interesting, crazy move. Yesterday was really gapping up and down significantly. I traded in the earning. We were live on YouTube, and I did mention my trades in live YouTube. This morning, I had a very nice short. Again, I didn't trade it short because it was gapping up, but Brian could short it here. So there was a really massive drop below the previous day close. And you see these levels are magic, bounce back from that. And these levels are yesterday low and 2 days ago low. As you see, this is just bounced back significantly. So very, very crazy. Look at that. Like these levels are magic. Like, we trade based on them, and these levels work down to the penny. And is now trading crazily. Tesla had also earning. So these are the things that I wanted to mention. IWM is the index for small caps, which very rate sensitive. So yesterday, I took about 8,000 shares of TNA, which is the 3 times leverage of IWM. And I didn't get filled yesterday. So we had this really massive, like if I go to TNA, so we had this massive move up, move up and down on TNA. So when it came back up, I bought around 44.30, and I was hoping to sell about 45. Didn't really get filled, and then I put an order, good tool canceled. So I did an order to get filled, and right at the open, I got filled. I got the 8,000 shares that you see here. So I had my orders on the market to sell. As soon as the market opened here, like this 8,000 share volume that you see is actually mine. So 8,000 shares, I got filled right at 45.50. So this was a FOMC play. So I knew that the market is gonna gap up because Feds are under a lot of political pressure, and JPOW has to, be dovish and say that the rates are going to coming down. They can't really keep the rates higher because the President Trump doesn't want the rates to stay much higher. All right, so that's it. So that was essentially the trade that we did. So again, going through making decision based on the 5-minute candlestick and 1-minute candlestick. This bullish 5-minute bullish engulfing is one of my favorite strategies. And if you do want to trade, guys, if you do want to learn, come trade live with me on YouTube every single day. You can see the charts, you can see the decision making, you can see everything that I see, and practice it on a real-time simulator that we built for you in Trading Terminal for free. Do not invest a single penny on this until you know that trading is for you. I made it for you for free completely. Just a simulator and live trading. Only invest in education and invest in an account when you think that trading is something that you really, really want to do that. And at the end, I want to encourage everybody to join to Vancouver, guys. So we have 3-day conference, live trading. You can sit down next to me and trade live. And I really hope that you guys join for Vancouver trading.